so.
We're live. What the fuck? We're live.
Now we are.
The fuck? We're live.
Hello, everyone.
What the fuck? Yo, what's up, Brimbles?
So I figured out how to play the video finally. So I'm
Wait,
gonna
really?
do that now. Yeah.
Wait, you? Oh my god,
Yes,
are
I
you
fixed
fucking
it.
me right now?
So we're gonna start with the video Biss wanted me to play.
Okay.
Ready?
How to spoon.
It's very loud.
Dick hard in the butt. Titty in my hand. Kiss your neck. Hell yeah. What? How to spoon. Dick hard in the butt. Titty in my hand. Kiss your neck. Hell yeah. What?
Oh god.
What?
Shan is now orange. There.
Okay, Elaine, I need you to show an image. Can you just show this image on screen? I need to say, no, not this image. No, that's accidentally a story about toenails. Where's the right image? Fuck.
Oh, I have it.
You have the image?
Yes.
Can you show the image?
There you go. Okay, it's on screen now.
It's the Obi-Wan face, right?
Yeah.
I fucking love this image because, like, literally, you can see in his face. He's like, okay, I didn't get that, but Anakin seems pretty pissed. Should I ask what again? Can I let this go? And as somebody with auditory processing issues, this is me all the time. I just sound like this is the third time I haven't caught it twice.
Also, Ash says that's how the Star Wars started.
Yeah. It really is. Oh my god, Shan's orange. Also.
Okay,
Oh,
switching
Shani,
over to
right?
Horus. Switching to Horus now.
Shani, you alright? With the colours? Are you gonna be okay? I hope.
Shan
you're gonna
says
be
bad
okay.
color.
Good. But yeah, I just fucking love it. It's just like, what? It's like, it just sounds like such a trepidatious what.
So anybody in the future who's watching this, if you're wondering why we started with that video, it's because I was like struggling for like half an hour to make it work at the end of my previous stream, and then figured it out in between streams.
Half an hour?
I think I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean.
I hope you're exaggerating.
Oh goodness gracious. Go ahead and close Discord, and we continue. Now you're green again, Shan.
They're green, dabba dee da da dee. They are green, they are green.
Green.
Wait, Ash isn't green.
Ash is black.
Orange.
On my end, Ash is black.
What the fuck? What is all of this? Also, the sun is in front of the clouds.
Oh god. It's not really the sun. I think we're supposed to get on the train again.
I think so. I think we're done with sitcom.
Sitcom. We have Beethoven music this time.
More like beat oven.
It looked like I would need a ticket to get through the fairground.
The game seems like it's exceedingly quiet this time.
Weird.
There we go. See how that sounds. Well, it just means I don't have to hear the squeaking as much. Also, Horus is loaded now, if you remember.
What do you mean Horus is loaded?
We have
Oh, with money.
121,000 pounds.
Oh, do you remember when you woke up from that dream and I was like, was the money in the dream? You can't have that much money.
No, just buy 8 tickets. Or 12 tickets this time. I probably never have to buy tickets again for the rest of the game.
You're not the same as Ash on my screen at the minute.
It says the age of the train. I missed that last time.
Mind the doors. The train is now departing.
Oops. It helps if I get on the train. Yeah, you haven't been this. On my end, you have never been the same color as Ash Shan.
Oh yeah,
You've always been different.
I was mixing people up because mostly because like both of the colors blend into the background more than the white of the text does, I think. And I don't have glasses on. And also I'm distracted. I was very distracted during that stream because I was playing Sonic.
Yeah.
Mr. Dex TV.
I'm sorry if I give you the impression the colors were the same.
Big city.
Yeah, you and Ash are not
That's
the
the
same
case, I'm
color.
If that's the case, I'm sorry for causing all this trouble. Sorry. Look, we're in Bigity.
Biddy.
Mind the doors.
Which is ironic because if it was Biddy City, that would be the opposite of Big City.
I'd put my glasses on, but I don't know if they're downstairs or upstairs. They're somewhere.
They're
Probably
pupstairs.
upstairs. I think Magalore from Kirby is wearing them. The plush. I mean, not actual Magalore. I wouldn't have Magalore in my house
I
because
can't-
Magalore's a fucking wizard.
I can't walk on the walls here.
Because it's a train station, Elena.
Horse has manners in the train station.
Once I
Yeah.
made my way out of the station, Mr. Silton and the others jogged up alongside me. As soon
What?
as they got the chance, they ducked into
What?
an alleyway to change their clothes.
What?
Mr. Silton.
Why were they dressed like
Why?
that?
It's a costume. They're all dressed as rabbis for some reason.
Why?
The British Corporation
I don't know.
The Corporation of Lies and Propaganda, a wretched hive of scum.
The British Corporation of Truth?
And dancing competitions, said Mr. Silton.
Okay, so the person who made this both hates the BBC and also made a fucking Star Wars prequel reference. No, it's a main trilogy. Main trilogy, actually.
Let me pick up the trash.
Pick up the garbage!
Oh yeah, so so that was Danny DeVito who did that, right? So you know that part,
Yeah.
the trash
Yeah, the
man.
garbage!
Trust
I'm
me.
the trash man!
But
Yeah,
so
that's
we were
it.
watching the show Taxi, which he was on like years before that, and he was talking about garbage. So apparently that's just what he does.
Well, I mean, at least he has a brand.
Apparently he's just always been the trash man. I think he called himself like a garbage man or something like that.
Bobby, I'm a garbage
I don't remember exactly, but-
Okay, I'm done.
I can't run here. It won't let me run.
This
So
is
when we were
video
with
game
when we were
cutscene time,
when we
Elena.
were with Mr. Silton's wife, we could run and like leave her behind. But here we can't.
Because this is the super serious story part, Elena.
So I guess we're at the point where there was the big war or whatever and everything's destroyed, but now everything is sort of like back to normal, except for they're just living with all these destroyed buildings.
Mm.
Because everybody seems to just be going about their usual business at this point.
The lack of survivors meant that listers like Deck were now the A-list by default.
What? Oh no!
Just then, Mr. Logan interrupted, saying it was time to
All the celebrities
The
died.
celebrities.
And so he's like the last celebrity alive, and even though he wasn't like that big of a celebrity, now he's the biggest one by default because he's the only one left.
That is the worst fucking plot element I've ever heard in
Also,
my
he's
life.
pointing again.
He's pointing.
That's all Mr. Silton's really good for is pointing.
Whoa! Okay, that's a bit much, Elena. Don't be mean to Silton.
I meant that as like apparently. Apparently that's all he really does is just point.
Hmm. Also, we're
Wait, I
just
wonder if there's
invading
anything over here.
BBC at the minute.
The BB.
The
All I think of is just that one song where it's like BBC 1, BBC 2, BBC 3.
BBC, famous for their electrified barbed wire.
Oops. Also, did you know that there's... You probably know this. There's a BBC America.
Yeah, I know BBC America.
Yeah.
It's kind of a money-making thing because they're allowed to show adverts in America. So they really care about the American audience because they're the fucking people they can sell stuff to. I mean, except for DVD sales over here, but other than that.
Okay, yeah.
Like, apparently they don't send
We
most of the good stuff, though. They only send, like, you know, stuff that they send, like, widget series, right? Like, stuff that Americans think of as British, you know?
Like Doctor
Rather
Who.
than just...
Doctor
yeah,
Who's the
Doctor
biggest
Who.
thing that they have.
And that's why Doctor Who ended up shit for so long, is that they had to, like, dumb it down for Americans.
Doctor Who is the most, like, well-known British thing in America, probably. Or one of.
Adverts are just the worst.
As far as, like, TV shows go, it's the most well-known one. I think the other things that are well-known here are just, like, landmarks. In London.
I've never watched a single fucking episode of Downton Abbey, but yes, it is. Do they have Better Call the Midwife? That seems like something America would like from Britain.
I've never heard of that.
I don't like it. I deeply dislike it, actually, but whatever.
I think they also bring over their documentaries.
I mean, of course, yeah, like Blue Planet and shit.
Mhm.
Anything with fucking what's his face? David Attenborough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I was gonna bring that up, but I didn't want to sound like a fool if that's not what you're talking about.
Yeah. I'm glad you
I
didn't,
didn't want
say
to sound
it,
like a
'cause if you
Brimbus.
That's fair. I'm just glad you didn't say it, because when Americans say David Attenborough's name, they butcher it so poorly. Makes me
Like-
kind of ill. Don't do it! Don't do it just to irritate me! No.
No, I was trying to... Never mind. I was gonna see if I was mispronouncing it, or if I knew what you were talking about. What the mispronunciation was.
But yeah. His name has the same. His name has the same thing as like places that have.
Oh, I see.
R
It's
at the end of the name.
BCT. Oh, yeah,
Wait,
I
C?
hear... Yeah, it's BCT is the name of the channel here.
Oh, you only just noticed?
Yeah. I was gonna say, well, the only other person I hear like talk about him is Vinny, and he says, "Oh, this is a really weird thing."
What
He
the
says
fuck
it.
is that?
He says it David Attenborough. Is that that's the mispronunciation, I assume?
Yeah, and it's just bruh. If you have quotes borough on the end of a name, you just pronounce it bruh.
Yeah, here it's borough. Like we have like there's cities
like,
with
but
that
they-
at the end of them, and it's always borough is how it's
Yeah,
pronounced.
but you see, this is a
Oh.
person, so you call him what his name is pronounced as. Otherwise, I could just be like, yeah, I'm pronouncing your name Elaininus. Yeah, that's actually right. Attenborough is pretty much correct. Also, like, you know what? Like, consensus... Okay, so, like, I'm not against the consensus that we make good TV, but, like, I don't know. There's not much I actually actively watch on TV. I don't think most of it's worth something. Like, I used to like the sitcom 2 Pints of Lager and a Packet of Crisps. It was nice to have a sitcom that was it was a sitcom with a lot of personality and a lot of wild stuff going on. It was cool, whatever. I watch Doctor Who when it's good.
I think
I think that's
Taxi. I think Taxi's my favorite old TV show at the moment. I
What's your
mentioned it
favorite
earlier.
British TV show?
The only one that I know I've watched is Doctor Who.
Wow.
Otherwise, I'm not
We need-
sure if I. Well, I've seen some older ones like The Avengers, an old British TV show.
We're gonna
From the
watch some
60s.
Red Dwarf together, honey. We're gonna watch fucking Red Dwarf together, and you're probably who knows if you'll like it, but you'll have to watch it because your butt will be glued to the chair.
It's called The Avengers, but it has nothing to do with the Marvel thing of the same name.
Oh yeah, it's almost as if Avenger is just a word. I think you're supposed to get out at that point, honey. I think
Yeah,
you're supposed to
I
top out.
just realized that.
Thank you. I mean,
Well,
Red Dwarf is really fucking good.
it's come up in That's come up in conversation between me and Biss several times. That show.
I've never watched the IT
We were just
Crowd.
talking about it the other day.
In fact, I've watched the IT crowd so little, I keep accidentally calling it the IT crowd. Was Flight of the Conchords British or was it New Zealand? I can't remember. I haven't seen it, so I can't tell. For the sea, I'd probably known. I just got a feeling Flight of the Conchords wasn't American.
What the heck was that?
What the fuck was that?
I don't know. Something weird happened.
You got weird gravity.
Oh no! You were supposed to jump, Horace!
Oh no.
Poopy.
Oh my god.
The Pig Pang Theory.
My favorite thing about Big Bang Theory was just all the like memes where people would replace the word bazinga. Like what was it? It was like some comic I on my computer once, which was just like,
The
Sheldon,
Honka
can
Bankaloos.
you help me set up my computer? Haha, Penny, you're a woman. You don't use computer. Bonanza. That was just a meme. He's just actually misogynist, and this is Bonanza.
Oh,
God,
poopy.
fucking bit. Seriously though, wait. Elena, I'm sorry, right? I love you deeply and dearly.
Yes.
But that last round was just.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
But yeah, I fucking love banana. Bonanza is just a funny word anyway. Do you remember when they made young fucking Sheldon? Do you remember when somebody decided to do that?
Yeah. Pretty sure that's still a thing that's going at the moment. How did
It
you?
won't be
How
when I
did you
get
three
over
get
there.
here?
Elfie Faye, you're fucking awake!
How did they get here?
They just came.
They did what now?
They came.
You want to rephrase that?
They came over here.
Okay.
They came in the direction of you.
Oh.
Also, for the record, what if it isn't them? What if they all died in the first room and now their ghosts are pushing you on with their pointing fingers?
Also, I watched a video a while back,
Good
maybe
call,
like a
Cam,
year
good
ago
call.
or so, that was about like why that show was so bad, or like the ideas it presented, and it was talking about how like acknowledging problems is not the same as like confronting them or like fixing them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because they like acknowledge like what's wrong with them, but then they don't like do anything with that. They just like expect like kudos for like pointing out that the things are wrong.
Isn't this just fucking like Rick and Morty? Isn't this? You know what this is? This is Teen Titans Go. Teen Titans Go has entire episodes. There was literally an episode of Teen Titans Go, right? I kid you not. An episode of Teen Titans Go where an evil nerd does some stuff. Okay, basically the ending of the episode was that the Teen Titans from Teen Titans Go watch the original series and make comments about how it's a much better series and has actual character arcs. It's just a better story. Like literally the characters there, like, wow, I was so much better in this other series.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what they did with Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like, okay, hot take, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is like a thing. If you're making a show, don't, like there's exceptions to this, but don't listen to criticism. Because, like, there's three kinds of criticism. There's three ways you can deal with criticism, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can learn something important and actually change. And, like, I would like it if you did that, but that's the rarest kind of reaction, let's be real.
Yeah.
You can acknowledge it in a shitty way, more than most common, or you can overcompensate. Like how
they try and make themselves look clever by acknowledging it.
Yeah.
Which doesn't actually do anything.
Pretty much anywhere in the building as long as they look the part, whispered Mr. Silton. You just need to be wearing no clothes and have the blankest of faces. I didn't really like the sound of that, but I realized it was the only way I'd be able
Horace has to get naked.
So I took off my suit and made my face blank. Blanker, said Mr. Silton.
Oh no, Horace has to be nude.
With an ER, said Mr. Silton again. Well, I suppose.
What? Oh, blank. Oh, he tried to look like Blanca.
Some lavish suite.
From Street Fighter. I
You
just
get
got
a
it.
reference to video game from childhood. Do you get it?
Oh no!
Oh my god, Ash! Oh fuck! I'm glad. You know what? I hope everybody tried to stay away from young Sheldon. Young Sheldon was a young mistake.
Bonnie and Clyde. The Adventures of Bonnie and Clyde. Richard and Judy. Why does that look like from Wizard of Oz? What's her name? This Afternoon with Richard and Judy. I've unfortunately forgotten the name of. Oh, I don't have my wall running anymore because he took off his shoes.
I reflexively hate Dr. Phil just because the British version of Dr. Phil is the worst fucking putrid, disgusting fucking show ever made.
What?
Like, okay,
What?
have you ever heard of Jeremy Kyle?
No.
Jeremy Kyle is just fucking. It's just the worst show. So basically, it's like, okay, have you ever seen Dr. Phil?
Vaguely. I've never
So
sat
imagine-
and watched it.
Okay, so you know its concept, right?
Where he's like a therapist.
Yeah, so I want you to imagine Dr. Phil, except instead of being there to try and help anybody, he's there to actively yell at and insult everybody.
Oh, so he's the Gordon Ramsay of therapy.
Yeah, no, okay, Gordon
worse.
Ramsay at least knows how to cook.
Yeah.
The difference. Like, Dr. Phil will literally invite people on and then be like, "You're a fucking disgrace."
How could I? Where I don't know where I've not watched Dr. Phil. Is
Okay,
that what you're upset
let me-
about?
Allow me to clarify, Ash. I mean, I hate the show reflexively, not the person. I'm sure that Dr. Phil the man is a lovely, lovely, lovely man.
The main thing I remember about Dr. Phil, aside from Ash watching and talking about him all the time, is there was a Sesame Street thing where they had Dr. Phil,
Dr. Phil!
who was a Muppet that looked like Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil sounds like a Metal
Oh, no.
Gear character name.
Wait, what's going on? What? Oh no, what the heck? What just... What? What in the world was that? What?
Oh, yeah, yeah, Jeremy Kyle is just the worst fucking TV. It's like literally just they just bring people on and they're just
abuse them.
and basically the undercurrent of the entire show is like, look, these people, they haven't got their lives together. They're poor. They're probably uneducated. Let's laugh at them and their problems and blame them for everything wrong with their lives. Let's just be as mean to people who are already on, like, to people who are already in a bad enough place that they're willing to come on this shit show. Let's just bring them on and be mean to them. I fucking hate it.
Oh, pooping.
I can't believe Horace is fucking dead.
What? What? How did he get it? His clothes are back on, and we're... I'm
Yeah,
so
this-
confused.
I'm not saying there isn't bugs in this game, but there's bugs in this game.
I'm not saying there's bugs in this game.
It's just... I'm not saying there's bugs in this game, merely the insects are present.
Now, what was I gonna say?
Sean! Oh my god, no, I'm sorry!
What was I going to s- Okay, let me try and catch my thoughts here. There was something I was gonna say.
Okay.
So, what were we talking about? So,
Jeremy Kyle.
there was the
Dr.
yelling.
Phil.
Oh yes, now I remember. So I remember. I was reminded of a video that Drew Gooden did about a show on TLC, which is the Learning Channel. He was talking about the My Strange Addiction and related shows.
Oh, I hate that show.
Yeah, and he was making fun of it, and like, oh, stinkus. But it was like, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was this funny thing where there was like, they just keep like they do like a couple things to like there was like a lady who was like addicted to eating like little ice cream bars, right? And they like did a couple things to like show how much that was, and then they're like, and then it's like, it seems like she gets the idea after those, and they're like, okay, well, let's move on to like helping her get over the thing now, right? But then no, they do like 5 other things to like show her how many ice cream bars she's eating, and it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, this is unproductive. Oh my god. Okay, can I tell you the worst reality TV thing I have ever seen, right?
What?
Okay, so this was like a show that I think Jamie Oliver was on it. Now, Jamie Oliver is fucking scum, for the record, right? Awful man, terrible. If you ever meet Jamie Oliver in the street, kick him in the dick. But anyway, Jamie Oliver was on some fucking show. It was one of those shows about how people are too fat nowadays or whatever, right? So they had like a family on, right? Who were, a lot of them were like a little bit chubby, right? And what they did was they were like, okay, we're gonna get all the food you eat in a month, right? We're gonna put in a giant blender. And then they put it all in a blender and they put it out on a table. A month's worth of food ruined. And it's been blended into basically soil. Like it's just this black mush of a month's worth of food. And then Jamie Oliver points it and goes, look, isn't that disgusting? That's what you eat.
Oh no. All of these people seem like they're trying to go for the Gordon Ramsay thing, but misunderstanding what the Gordon Ramsay thing is.
Yeah, Gordon Ramsay punishes people for their hubris. Jamie Oliver's just a piece of shit. In fact, I would love to see Gordon Ramsay kill Jamie Oliver.
Put them in a duel to the death.
And you know Gordon Ramsay would fucking win.
You donkey!
Oh yeah, but like Jamie Oliver's just awful. There was like
What?
this news story
We're
a while
hacking
back.
by
where
playing Breakout?
What the fuck is this? Hack.exe?
It's a little key. It's like the
Why would they-
Matrix.
Well,
as Breakout.
to answer your question, Shan, they wasted all that food to show that when you blend up a load of food, it looks disgusting. That's why you should eat food, apparently.
Don't eat food! Only drink water.
Oh god, this reminds me. What was I thinking of? This reminds me of those videos on Facebook where they're like, "Did you know that if you boil Pepsi, it turns into weird syrup? That's why you should never drink Pepsi. It's poisonous."
God, those are so
And it's
weird.
like you have, yeah, and it's like you kind of have to wonder.
It's like, what point are you making?
Yeah, like this is the problem. Is I think people don't seem to understand. If you boil away the water in any drink, you're left with something weird.
Yeah. Like water is the main component?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Or
what else
it's
was
that it's that thing that happens where people will like say, oh, this chemical is in such and such food, and this chemical is like used in rubber or whatever, and it's like, well, so are other things? Like, just because a chemical can like do different things doesn't mean that it's like doing the same thing in both. Like people make up like they describe water the way people describe like certain chemicals. And it sounds exactly the same, but it's just water. So
Did you know that beef from McDonald's contains protein? Do you know what else contains protein? Anuses. Wait.
Oh yeah, Elfie says the dihydrogen monoxide thing. That's what I was talking
Oh
about.
yeah. I fucking love that.
Oh, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, this was reminding me of a thing I watched a video of. There's this channel I've been watching a bit of called her channel's called Amanda the Jedi. Or her channel's, that's where I figured out what capture card to get, was the capture card she had listed that she used, by the way. So there's a little a little thing. But
Wait. You gone?
but yeah, she had a video where she talks about a lot of just like bad things that are going on with like usually like internet things, and just sort of does commentary and like complains about them, basically. Just sort of like brings attention to them so people know like bad stuff that's going on. But anyway, so it was one about this thing where she goes over like pseudoscience or like weird like alternate medical things that like scams that people do.
Mhm.
And one of them, I think it was called Jilly Juice, And it was just this. I don't remember exactly what into it, but the basic of it was that it was, I think it was like kale or something like that you then like ferment for like months, and then you're supposed to drink it. So it's basically just like pickled lettuce, and like the amount of salt in it is like absolutely absurd. Like it's almost said it's to the point where you're basically drinking seawater. And it was claimed to like cure like all of your problems. Like any sort of health problems can be cured by this, but like the amount that she says you're supposed to drink was like nearly a gallon a day. Like if you keep going with the regimen that they came up with. And you can imagine how much, how having that amount of salt would be not very good, right? Like,
Yeah.
you can imagine where this is going. And like, I think one of the claims was that it would cure you of being gay. Was one of the things, stuff like that. So
I'm gonna be honest, all these people who peddle this shit, I'm fucking sick of them. I'm sick of the Jilly Juice person. I'm sick of there was that one person who died because they were told to drink like an entire bottle of soy and they did it and died.
Yeah.
Fucking all this stuff is just garbage. I fucking hate it.
Oh yeah, I remember.
anti-vaxxers, I
Oh,
hate
speaking
them
of diarrhea,
too.
Ash. So that's one of the side effects is that you just poop a lot. And she claimed that was like the toxins leaving your body or whatever, and not that the drink itself is causing that.
Oh, no.
Like that's what they always claim in things like that. Like there were several things. Several things like that just make you poop a lot or vomit or whatever, and they're just like, oh, that's normal. That's what's supposed to be happening. You're getting rid of the toxins. The toxins you put into your body by drinking the thing.
Elena, I just remembered the worst thing.
What?
I just remembered this is the single worst one of these that exists. You might want to prepare yourself. This is basically fucking child abuse.
Well,
right?
let me finish what I was saying first then.
Okay.
And it said like when she was like you mentioned she was on Dr. Phil, and basically I think it was like in those interviews she was like showing like on interviews that she did. I don't know if it was specifically on there because she was on other places too. But it was like she was like showing signs of like the health problems that arise from drinking this stuff.
Yeah.
So but yeah, no, you can continue.
Okay.
Okay, so this one's kind of heavy, right? There's some people, right? Okay, who think okay. There's some parents, right? Very small amount, I imagine / hope, right? Who think that the way that you quote cure autism in your child, right? So we're already in dodgy territory. Is to fill their colon with bleach,
Oh god.
and then they're like, look,
That's
then
like
they'll,
instant death.
Okay, it's not instant death actually. A lot of them survive, and all that happens is just the fucking like, what is it? The fucking gel that you have on the inside of your like bowels to like, you know, the waterproof gel comes out.
To absorb nutrients.
Yeah, the gel comes out, and they're like, look, this is the toxins, and sometimes it's like stringy, so like, look, it's worms. People are full of parasites actually, and the bleach kills them.
What the heck?
I know. I'm gonna be honest. I hope every single one of these fucking parents loses their kids, and also some of their fingers. No, that's mean. I shouldn't say that. One of their fingers. No, half a finger.
This reminds me of one of the other ones. Reminds me of one of the other ones that Amanda the Jedi went over. I recommend that channel, by the way. I like that's kind of she's a lot bigger of a YouTuber than I am, but she's still a smaller one. But she does a good channel. If you don't mind, or if you like watching somebody just yell about nonsense that's going on, that's a good channel. If you want to hear somebody get angry about stuff, it's a good channel. But anyway, there was another one she went over, which was, I think I told you about this one, Biss.
Yeah.
Where it was this like, what's the word? A quack, I think is the word for like a real doctor. But he was trying to get people to, rather than use insulin to treat diabetes, to rub lavender oil on their back and to stop using insulin. And like one kid ended up dying because they did this regimen with him. And like all the way up, like apparently like the day before the kid died, they had him over and was like, he looks pretty bad, and he's like, no, it's he's supposed to, like, it's working. So
Oh, have you heard of apricot seeds?
you mean like in Pokemon, the things you make the
No,
Pokeballs out of?
I mean the real fruit that exists in the real world, Elena. Okay, so
Okay.
apricot seeds contain a certain amount of cyanide, right?
Yeah.
And there's Whole Foods
So do apple
sells
seeds.
bags.
A lot
Yeah.
of fruits in that family have a cyanide in their seeds.
So basically, Whole Foods sells big bags of apricot seeds as a health food in America, right?
hmm
And
Oh yeah, I
What
remember. I remember this one. Yeah, I've heard about this one.
yeah, and I remember there was like, I think there was some video I watched, and they showed people talking about it online, and people were literally like, "Wow, this really makes my tongue go numb. That means that it's working."
Oh
And
god.
it's this thing where it's like,
Yeah,
what
I
the
remember
problems
this.
Is what the problems are? Okay, is
Mhm.
that people treat health as like a weird religious thing, right?
Yeah, which is how
And-
all of humanity did it for a long time before we realized that we could apply science to medicine.
Yeah, and part of the problem is that like people seem to think that unpleasant experiences are inherently healthy. They think that if something is because
Yeah.
people are used to the idea that going to the gym sucks and cabbage doesn't taste good. They
Yeah.
think that if something is good for you, it will be actively painful and uncomfortable. I think that's part of the reason why people can literally harm themselves, cause themselves absolute agony, and they're like, "Yep, this is definitely going to fix me." Because people think that suffering is moral, and they think that being healthy is moral, ergo being healthy is suffering.
Yeah, Amanda the Jedi was talking about like people like there's like legitimate reasons to distrust like health professionals sometimes, or like the industry. But then said like completely writing it off and not listening to like trained professionals on it is not the solution. Like people who've studied
What?
medicine their whole lives. If it feels bad, it must be healthy, Ash says. It's the
About
same reason I
Neopets?
play Neopets Flash games.
Okay,
But yeah, I
I'm
remember there was like a million like health warnings on the apricot seeds.
Wait, grape seeds? Wait, grape seeds? Wait, what do you mean grape seeds? Are most grapes seedless? I've never
Oh, yeah,
encountered
seedless
a grape
grapes.
seed before. Oh, okay, never mind, that's alright. I was confused for a second. I
Also,
was like, I've been
apples.
eating my grapes wrong my entire life.
I think apples themselves contain trace amounts of cyanide,
No
but
one
not
told
enough
you
to
that the
poison a
video
human.
games so much.
But there are some animals that cannot eat apples because there's too much of the poison in it for them.
I mean, that makes sense, Shan. That makes sense. I feel like the time where I was actively my most healthy was the time where I was just sort of like being active and enjoying my life.
Yeah, the amount of apples you'd have to eat to get like poisoned by them is like absurdly high. It's like the same way that the absurd amount of bananas you'd have to eat to get radiation poisoning from them.
Oh my god. Okay,
Like
wait,
that
hold
SCP.
on. Yeah, okay, so there's an SCP, right? Okay. There's an SCP, which is basically it's like a little box of pills, right? And these pills were made by a scientist who deals with anomalous assassination techniques, right? So somebody was like, "Okay, buddy, I need some like plutonium so I can poison this guy." And the scientist's like, "No, I got a better idea. Bananas." And he's like, "What?" He's like, "Bananas are radioactive. So what I'm gonna do is concentrate the
Plutonium can be
it-
traced, but bananas can't. Bananas are untraceable.
I love that he's like, "You see banana? Who you gonna trace it to? Whole Foods?" It's
Yeah.
like great. So basically, he makes a pill. Like he makes a pill,
Mhm.
and when you eat this pill, what happens is the pill turns into several 100,000 bananas in your stomach, which
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 is-
technically kills you because it causes you to erupt into a landslide of bananas.
But it is also the amount of bananas you'd need to like get radiation poisoning from them.
Yeah. So this and the funny thing is like, okay, so the SCP
But that's not what,
Foundation.
it doesn't kill you because of the radiation. It kills you because it's hundreds of thousands of bananas.
Yeah. My favorite part about this entire story is the fact that the SCP Foundation has like
Gotcha.
an entire site which is locked off now because the entire building has just been filled to the ceiling with banana pulp and it's rotting and it's radioactive. sensitive slightly. I love SCP because like and this is controversial because some people don't like it when I do this, but like I like how it's both horror and also incredibly fucking funny half the time.
Yeah.
A lot of dark comedy.
You have to go fast here.
You're doing your Naruto run. Or it's more of like an Arale run. A Goku early... Did Goku used to run like that? I think so as well.
Now if I go back, I can get cool stuff. Because I flipped that switch.
Yeah, you know what's really bad for your heart? Working in retail. Good luck with your bathroom journey, Shan.
Bathroom journey.
Yeah, everyone knows a Bernie. Bathroom journey centers. Yeah, working retail is bad for your heart.
I do it.
Never sleeping is bad for your heart, and that's why I'm always worried about my heart. Is I do both of those things.
Oh.
There's a 64K.
I got 64K. Yeah.
It's nice there's a little graphical effect on your board at this point.
Oh yeah, you want to know my favorite? So remember I mentioned that one guy with the lavender diabetes guy?
Yeah.
My favorite thing about that guy was he was quoted as saying, "Tumors are your friend."
Oh yeah, it's that person.
Yeah, he says, "Tumors are your friends." That's an exact quote.
Was he? I think I've seen this person or somebody similar. And basically, their idea is tumors are just your body getting rid of things that society puts in them or some nonsense. Like, here's the thing.
I couldn't believe that he said that.
If people, is this the Teletubby set?
I don't know.
As soon as I entered Mr. Deck,
I hope he was tried for murder as well, to be honest.
Get out. I said I don't want to be disturbed. I was so shocked that I couldn't.
I think he's also like 80 years old, so he didn't get like that much of a sentencing because he's just so old.
Away from me, you yellow bastard. He said as he
that he's probably not going to be around for very long anyway.
Interrupted by Mr. Silton falling from a vent in the sea.
Get away from me, you.
Right, Deck.
Oh no, that's an awful line. I don't like that.
And Mr. Deck, if you don't mind, replied Mr. Deck as he hammered on the alarm button.
Wait, what?
Mr. Silton as he turned to me.
I wasn't paying enough attention, I was talking.
That alarm.
Hey, Shan.
There were 4 alarms left to turn off.
What the fuck is this? What are
What?
these enemies? What the fuck is going on?
Bumba.
What the fuck is this shit? Welcome back, Shan. Also, those are definitely the insides of warp pipes. It's more video game references. Hey Elena, what's your favorite SCP?
The potato one.
Oh,
Which is the first one I ever saw.
Very good. Aww.
I never found one that I liked better than that one.
There's a lot of classics I like. I like the trans satellite. That one's good. I need to show you the trans satellite.
Oh, I've heard about that one.
Yeah.
I also... Oh, what was I gonna say? I liked one that I read about... It was a simple one. It was just... What the...
Yeah?
The heck was that?
Right, honey, it looks like you're getting spunbust.
Yeah, I was getting spunbust pretty hard there. Oh,
Oh yeah, there's an SCP that's a satellite that is trans.
There was one I
And
liked
it's done
that
kind of
was...
respectfully, and it's nice.
There was one I liked that was... it was a simple one. It was just like this little object. And it had sort of like a star, like galaxy pattern sort of thing on it. And it had a lock with like a keyhole. And it was very ornate to the point where they like look at it under a microscope and it's like impossibly detailed. Like more detailed than it should be able to be at the scale it was at. And they like couldn't find an end to like the detailed patterns on it. Like they didn't have good enough microscopes. And like... I think it was like found in like the jungle somewhere or something like that, just some remote location.
Okay,
by
so
like
the
some
satellite.
explorer.
the satellite. Okay, you're using past tense. It's not that the satellite was a cute girl. It's that the satellite is a girl. So basically, this SCP, right? Okay, is basically an alien satellite that comes in two halves. One side is like biomechanical, like it's like fleshy cybernetics or whatever, and the other side is just straight up machine. And both of them have like consciousness. Oh, sorry, as to a storyteller. That's right. Sorry, I was misinterpreting. But yeah, basically this satellite in two parts. One part like flesh computer, and the other part's normal computer.
Didn't it like connect to the internet or something?
Yeah, it connected to the internet, and basically the flesh side just took up an alias online and started pretending to be a person to learn about the Earth or whatever, and ended up number one being a fan of Homestuck, which I mean, understandable.
Oh yeah, I remember that part.
Yeah, and then number two was just like, you know what? I think I'm a girl. She, her now. And basically, it's like you have like these chat logs between her and like the other side of the satellite. And basically, the other side of the satellite is like less feely because it's like entirely mechanical. But like it's about that side of the satellite learning to understand the feelings and choices of the biological side. And it's interesting. I love the containment procedures for that one, because the containment procedures are basically like ensure that nobody replies to her Homestuck posts.
What?
Because she's like in the Homestuck fandom and draws fan art digitally and stuff like that, and makes theories. So the SCP Foundation has to make sure this one Homestuck fan account doesn't get popular.
Oh no.
Yeah,
what was I
that's like
going to say? Oh yeah, about the one I was talking about. I remember I don't remember exactly. It was either the patterns on it or the radiation that came off of it matched the background radiation of the universe.
That's cool.
And
oh my God. Okay.
it seemed to be containing something because it had like a lock on it. And no matter what they did, like it was impervious to anything. Like no matter what they did, they could not like break it. Was the other thing. It's impossible to harm, no matter what they did.
Okay, so I told Elena about this last night, I think. Last night I was... Okay, so there's this YouTuber, right, called Dr. Sumerian, and he's like somebody who's on, I think, the SCP Wiki staff. And he's like a senior writer. He's done a lot of stuff for SCP, right? He used to have this series where he'd do harsh critique if people asked him to like critique their story. They'd be like, "Can you do a video critiquing my story?" And he'd do it, right? Somebody submitted a story to him about an egg. Okay.
Oh, nice, Chan.
And the story basically went like this, right? And it wasn't a story, it was an SCP, right? So this SCP was an egg that was found in a SCP Foundation higher-up's office. So they find an egg in somebody's office, right?
An office egg.
Yeah. What would you do if you found an egg on your desk in an office?
Eat it.
No. So basically, this person immediately calls
like,
in.
no.
This person.
It's like, no, you wouldn't. You wouldn't eat it.
Yeah, you wouldn't. It's just on the table. So
you don't know what I eat.
This person calls in a task squad to deal with the mysterious egg. It's just like a normal egg, but I think it has some engravings on it or something. If you look carefully, but it's an egg, right?
Yeah.
So basically, they end up taking this egg into containment, and they find out that if you hold the egg with bare hands, it glows softly and, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't touch it with bare hands for long enough, it gets restless and will find somebody. It'll break out of containment, the egg, to find somebody to hold it. And also, if you hold it with gloves, it will get angry and become really hot and burn through your gloves, right? So that's not the part, right? So this guy is like critiquing the rough draft of this script, and there's already a load of problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
The rough draft of this document. And then it gets to the part where they're doing experiments on the egg, and their first experiments was, okay, well, we're gonna have people of different races hold the egg to see how it responds.
Oh yeah, you showed me the thumbnail of it.
Yeah, and like the guy who's like
critiquing
this draft is like laughing his ass off because he's like, why do the scientists want to know if the egg is racist? so literally the first test is just they have 8 people of different races and sexes hold the egg, and they look for how much light and heat it gives off. And then they repeat the experiment several more times with ever bigger sample sizes.
Oh my god.
They're just desperate to know if the egg fucking racist.
Didn't it say? Didn't the thumbnail say? Wasn't it? Is this egg a bigot?
Yeah, that's just the thumbnail. Is this egg a bigot? Because that's the thing that fucking weirds me out. It's like nothing this egg has done so far implies this, but they're like
They go for that immediately. Oh my god, does this egg hate people?
And the worst part is, right? Okay, the worst part is
Is this
that
egg
in the-
prejudiced?
That's an exact line the guy doing the video said.
Oh
Is this
no.
egg prejudiced? Okay, so what was I about to say? Okay, and the worst part is, right? Okay, is that they say you know what the results of this testing is?
What?
The egg's not a bigot. In fact, yeah, there's for nothing. There was no fucking point. But then the best part is that the result of the testing is, oh well, there's no patterns. But if you actually look at the data, it was always warmer when women held it. So even the results of the experiment are wrong if you look at the numbers. There's no fucking story through line. That is just it's just an experiment for no fucking reason.
So I quickly approached him.
Oh
I wasn't
god.
sure what I was going to do, but I knew I had to keep him out of Mr. Deck's dressing room. I attempted to resume the blank face.
Kill him,
that
Horace,
Mr.
kill
Silton
him.
had shown me as I announced that Mr. Deck was not to be disturbed. For some reason I said it in an unusually high-pitched voice, which didn't seem helpful. The security guard's eyes narrowed. Now in a full panic, for some reason I decided this was a good moment to do the finger guns for the first time. The large man shoved me out of the way, but quick as a flash Mr. Logan appeared and snapped his neck. Sorry, had to be done, was all he said before running back toward Mr. Deck's room.
Okay. Boy, this game is something.
It really fucking is.
I didn't know you shredded the axe, said Mr. Logan as he placed an acoustic guitar into an ornate sarcophagus. I don't, said Mr. Deck. I got it for Elton John to sign.
Wait, what? Why is he placing a
For
guitar in the
once, everyone
sarcophagus?
else looked as confused as I did. We'll take
I-
this wine and this portable TV, said Mr. Preston as he packed
Why is
the coffee
everybody
with a
confused
very
at Elton
expensive
John signing a
fancy
guitar?
These bathrobes
Does he
are
play
nice as
piano?
well. Said Mr. Deck. Elton John gave me those. What's with you and Elton bloody John?
Why are they
Mr.
continuing to
Silton,
steal
but
from this
Mr. Deck
person
just
when,
looked
like...
angry. Why are you doing this? He said. There's easier ways to get good wine and cheese. You can't just burst in here and take my stuff.
Why are they
Elad
stealing?
smiled
This
across
person
the
knows
Mr.
who they
Silton's
are.
face as he said,
They
"Oh,
can't
it's
get
not
away with this
just your
crime.
stuff
It's
we're
impossible.
You try to take me anywhere, said Mr. Deck.
Also, why do they
Don't
keep
scream.
Oh, 'cause they're
making...
gonna kidnap him.
I know people
Oh,
in
okay, that's
high
right.
places. I'll have you executed, and that little yellow bastard dismantled. My father is the head of the BCT. But Mr. Silton's smile widened as he pulled out a bag full of familiar-looking mushrooms.
No!
You're gonna drug him? What is happening right now? What was that animation?
He's Mrs. Silton dancing his way over.
Robot.
Is the stream working, by the way?
This way back
On my
to
end, it's
the
having
room,
issues.
said Mr. Silton. We'll
What
climb
the
back
fuck
through
is
the
anything?
It could just be
Thing.
my phone.
door.
Stream seems fine to me.
Okay, good.
Never mind me. I'm just a robot carrying a sarcophagus. Fucking sarcophagus.
It's so fiddly to pick things up. Help!
Healthy faces.
Oh my god.
What the fuck just happened?
Look at this!
What the fuck is this help sphere?
This is really something.
Sure is great that you can just send a human being through the electric fence, but a robot can't go through.
Well, because he's protected by the sarcophagus.
Are you telling me this fucking sarcophagus it can protect you from an electric fence? Is that really what you want to communicate to me right
Apparently. I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't make Horus. I can't.
now? Are you telling me that it acts as a Faraday cage?
Apparently. You're gonna have to take that up with the developer, Biss. I don't have answers for you.
I don't want to take it with the developer. I don't want to bother the developer. They've got better things to do than worry about me. Only if you pick that up right now, you're gonna be brambled.
No, I'm fine.
Yeah, it looks. Wait. Okay.
Ah, poopy.
This seems a lot more. This seems a lot more lenient than I.
It's a lot more
thought.
forgiving than the previous section.
Oh, Elena's bullshit breaks me on a daily basis. And I like to imagine my bullshit breaks her on a daily basis.
A daily babis.
But that's where it's Cassie. That was a Cassie noise right there.
What was? Oh. Come on. Pick it up, Horus.
Why are the armed guards at the BBC?
The BCT.
It's a fucking TV
It's totally
studio
different.
either way.
Completely different.
I don't know. Like, I was about to say, how would you feel if you went to like SNL's behind the scenes or whatever, and there's just a load of people armed guards, but it's America, so I'm not sure if that's the case or not. I'm not sure if I'd be entirely surprised. Oh god. When I was coming back from Birmingham in the train station, there was some like armed guards, and it's like such a weird sight over here to see anybody with an actual fucking gun.
I think I've
was
messed this up.
Oh no. Oh, you really you just die. Just die. It's time to die.
You shouldn't be able to throw this someplace where you can't get it back.
Yeah, they should just line the floors of that place of sprit. Wow, that gun shoots electricity.
Yeah. Well, they have... I don't feel like this is the best strategy that I'm employing right now.
The irony that Horus runs on electricity, but every fucking hazard in this game is electricity.
He is. Look at him trying not to be suspicious.
It really fucking is, Shan. It's weird to just be like, yeah, this person has a end people machine on them.
That reminds me of argument people make about not banning guns, where it's like, well, what about knives? You gotta ban knives now too, right? When it's like, people then bring up, well, knives have, like, another purpose.
Mm.
Knives aren't just meant to destroy things. Like, there's nothing a gun is for other than to just destroy things.
Also, it's like, you can you can very easily not kill somebody with a knife.
Yeah,
With a gun.
it's harder to...
Yeah,
gun
a
is
gun
more
is
likely
just,
to do it.
yeah, a gun is just like literally just like a delete button you can aim. Also, yeah, you're right. You're right, Elfie. I know that's true. I'm just saying it's kind of funky. It's like the same way that Sonic is a spiky animal, and the most common hazard in Sonic 1 is spikes. It's like the very thing that makes him dangerous will also be his downfall. This is a nice little seg. I like how this little section is designed. It's kind of nice. Like this little bit of level layout.
Yeah. Oh, it's Zoltar.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, it is.
No,
What are
it
the other
isn't.
things in the background here?
Curse you, dramatic irony! Shakes fist, says.
Oh,
Elfie.
there's stuff from Back to the Future, the hoverboard and the shoes, and that's what's his name, Jason.
Elena, can you do me a big favor and can we not focus on this stuff? Also, I'm gonna have to BRB, unfortunately. I'll be back
Can we
in like
not?
a bit. I don't
What's
know
wrong?
exactly how long I'll take, but I'll be back soon. Don't worry.
Okay, so I can keep streaming.
Yes.
Okay. Bum 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 ba-dum, bum bum ba-dum. You're now imagining a gun being used in place of a knife. know. This reminds me of the thing. I don't really hear about it anymore. I'm sure there's still people who think it, but where they think that like people are going to, like, if guns were banned, that people would come and like take them from their house or something, or that like there were already people coming to do that or something, and people acted like people acted as if like Obama himself was going to come and take people's guns. And there's probably at least some people who like legitimately believed that he personally was going to show up at their house and take their guns. Which was an idea that always amused me greatly. Oh, Biss in chat now. You'll never take my guns, Obama! How do you like that, Obama? And I'm just combining that with the Dr. Eggman thing. I already did. You run to your gun cabinet, swing open the door, and fall to your knees. They're gone. They're all gone. You took your guns already. Oh my god. Why does this amuse me so much? You flex your arms, they're noodly. He already took those guns too. Oh, there you are. Welcome back, Biss. It's the Love Bug, and it's the Dukes of Hazzard's car, and it's the car from that one thing, the car that like talks. I forget what that show was called. This green car, I don't know what that is. The cars are all references. Oh, you weren't back? I mean, I hear you. I hear you typing. Biss Keyboard was on the stream. My co-host was just Biss's keyboard. Oh, please, why is this... Oh. I need to get this on the way up. You daren't question it? Or they show up at your keyboard instead. Please do not shoot me. Please. Please, no. No, please. You dingus. Oh wait, well, put it over here for me already, so that's good. And sit on my shift key.
Obama takes all your guns, and then eventually you get them back, but he's worn all of them, and his stink never comes off the barrel.
So,
If you ask how you wear a gun, then you're better off not knowing.
Oh no, that reminds me of a story where somebody had they were in the hospital because they'd shot themselves up the butt.
Bum 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 ba 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 ba.
What am I supposed to be doing here? Oh, that's what I'm supposed to be doing.
He's supposed
I
to
just have to jump better. I just have to be a better jumping bean.
You jump on he head.
Yeah, I gotta do that better.
Hey Elena, how'd you feel if I came and I shat on? No, fuck! I misspoke.
If you... What? Oh, excuse me?
No! I tried to say sit on your shift key. I hate myself. This is it. This is the end of my
This is it,
dignity.
Luigi.
This is it, Lanini. Oh,
Like, that
fucking
sounds like
dumb.
me combined with a panini.
Delicious.
The sound it makes when you jump on this guy is amazing. Just like boom.
I'd listen, but that involved. Okay, listen. Let's listen. The stream delay in this is like only like a couple seconds. It's incredible.
Nice. For me, it's very delayed, but that's because my phone got stuck trying to run it for a while. Oh yeah, by the way, everyone, would you be interested if I were to stream that Pokemon Mystery Dungeon demo?
No, don't do it. Not allowed. No, bad.
Well, I guess we got
The
one
bad
person who doesn't
remake
want me
and you're not allowed
to.
to play it. Wrong. You're not playing it. Elena, if you play that game, I will never stream with you ever again.
Oh no.
If you emulate the original, then I will marry you, though.
Oh.
Or at least the chances of marriage go up 0.1%. Which is not quite the same thing, but I'm saying you're still helping your odds.
And as you know, I'm very interested in that, so...
Yeah, you're the sort of person who likes to do the entire marriage thing. I think it's
Yeah.
kind of a weird thing, kind of sickening, but you know, you're allowed.
I think it'd be cute.
I think the wedding I like the idea of, you know, but like
Mhm.
the legal stuff is trash.
Some people do it only for the legal stuff.
In the UK, we've just let anybody do a civil partnership if they want to do that. This is the closest thing to a dark horse we've fought so far.
Doris.
No.
What?
No, don't ever say ever again.
You don't like Doris?
You're not allowed to say that, that's real bad.
What if it was spelled just D-O-R-R-I-S? And that's the Dark Horse. Well, we're still going. It's like Sonic 4 again.
Well, that really is a bone.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that inaccurate T-Rex. It looks like somebody just like rotoscoped a toy.
It probably did. Is it rotoscoping if it's not movement? Isn't that just tracing at that point? Because rotoscope I thought was tracing movement.
Who said you were allowed to bring logic into my house? I have like a huge headache at the minute. I'm not sure why.
Oh no.
I think it was the stress of BRBing combined
Oh.
with the stress of my misspeaking combined with the stress of being wrong about rotoscoping
Oh no.
combined with the half a liter of Pepsi I just drank.
Oh. Yeah, it's probably the soda mostly. At least
Okay,
when I
no,
get
no.
headaches, it's because of the soda.
I used to be able to drink fucking like any amount of Pepsi I wanted as fast as I wanted, but I guess I'm getting old now. Also, probably doesn't help that I never sleep well anymore because my new bed is shit.
Oh. I need to get a new bed. Hopefully it's not that.
Do you want my old one? And by my old one, I mean my current one.
Oh.
But yeah, I think
My
it'd be
bed
fine for
is
somebody else. I think
like,
this isn't fine for me because I'm too
Over
I'm
a
kinda-
decade old.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah. I mean, it's
no.
still fine. Like, I'm not getting, like, my sister had to get a new bed because springs were, like, poking out of it. and that was not really good. So mine isn't like malfunctioning. So
Oh, Shan, I had the same thing with chicken Kievs once. Oh my god, can I tell you my gross chicken Kiev story, Elena? Do you mind a gross story?
no, I don't mind gross stories.
So chicken Kievs are like basically they're like basically imagine breaded chicken,
Look!
right?
Look at this.
You saved them.
Boris has a friend.
Aw, ain't that sweet?
Friend us. He's gonna get tased. Look what he did to that poor robot.
Once away from the studio, we were able to duck
That's
down a few
upsetting.
dark alleyways. I think we're safe, said Mr.
Yeah, what was I about to say?
Silverman.
I was about to say,
Let's head
okay,
back
so
to
chicken
train now.
Kievs, right? Or they're a thing over here. I don't know if they're anywhere else, but like,
I don't know what that is, so you'll have to explain. He
basically,
is Doris, Elfie says. His name was Doris.
So basically, it's like a breaded chicken, but it's hollow, right? And inside the cavity is a load of garlic butter, right?
Sounds good in
So-
concept.
Yeah, it's really good. I used to eat them a lot as a kid. And then one night, I think I had food poisoning or something. So I eat a chicken Kiev, a load of chicken Kievs, right? I
Mhm.
go to bed. I'm in bed, and I'm like, wow, I'm about to vomit. So
Oh, no.
I open my window to vomit out the window,
Oh yeah, I
and-
remember this story.
and like half the vomit just goes on the windowsill.
Do you like everyone chat that I know these stories already? Like like you're just
So basically, then I'm like laying in bed with the window open,
what is
and
happening?
like the entire room just smells of garlic butter and vomit.
Oh my god.
And my brain made the association. So for years, I couldn't eat chicken Kievs because garlic butter was the taste of vomit in my mind. It was
That's
awful.
exactly the
Disgusting.
same thing that I have where I can't eat blackberry jam anymore because of that one time I had to have pills chopped up into it to take it up that
Oh,
way
no.
because I couldn't swallow the pills. It's now I associate the taste tastes like the terrible medicine taste still.
I'll need to register these two. He continued.
I love that one robot that's
Although
just
the
constantly
guards
bobbing.
won't notice
He
I
is.
walked in with 3 robots and now only have 2. He wished me luck and reminded
Yeah, he just vibing.
You only need to tell a robot something once.
You only need to tell a robot something once. I've sort of lost the plot at this point. I think mostly just because we're having conversations during it, but
Like we're still like, yeah, I'm kind of like, yeah, I've kind of like lost a bit as well. Dates are a fruit, are they, or are they a nut? Oh no, I'm sorry, Shan.
loved it so much. Oh no. Wait, what happened? What happened with the date?
Do you ever just think about
Why
Horace?
does every door in this game make the same sound effect when opening, no matter what kind of door it is?
Oh wow, Shan, so you basically just got infinitesimally
just ate
sick
too
of
many.
them.
Yeah, there's some things that I used to eat all the time, and then I just sort of eventually get sick of them.
Mm.
Because
I
I
used
eat
to
them too
eat,
many times,
like-
I stop enjoying them anymore. For whatever
That's
reason.
me with like tinned pineapple. I used to eat so much tinned pineapple. That's also me with the Gen 3 Pokemon game soundtracks. I played Gen 3 Pokemon and Super Mario Bros. 3 on my Game Boy Advance so much that eventually just the sound of those games made me upset.
Oh. I've never had that
'Cause
happen.
It was just because I think they were like the only games I had for like a long while, so it just eventually like that. Eventually,
know,
that became the
I
sound
guess-
of wishing I had other games.
Oh. I guess my brain just likes repetitive things.
That's fair. Yeah, I think you're a lot more. I think you're a lot better with repetitive things. I get bored of stuff very quickly, and that's the reason why
Yeah.
you're a completionist. And I think that the fucking what's it Kirby Quest? What's the name of that bad Kirby game you like?
That was Super Kirby Quest is the current one.
Wait, is that? Oh yeah. So I don't like any of that sub-series of Kirby because like the entire thing is it's just grind, and like I get that grind is like therapeutic for some people, or like I just can't.
I guess
stand
I guess it doesn't like I don't like grind only when it's in an RPG. For whatever reason, for some reason that doesn't feel interesting to me. But I like grind when I am like in control of it, like I'm the one controlling all the actions,
That's fair.
and not just reading things mostly.
we're talking about Kirby Quest, which is like it's a sub game on Robobot, and then it was a free-to-play game on the 3DS, and now there's like a Switch version. It's
Mhm.
basically like 4 people play Kirby at the same time, and they all pick a power at the beginning, and they fight a boss. But the boss has like several.
It's basically
hundred
Kirby. If the quick explanation is it's Kirby, but just boss battles.
Okay, and the bosses all have like several hundred times the health they normally have. So it takes you 5 minutes to beat one boss, and you have
Until
the
you level up.
grind levels to be able to do it.
And get better gear, and then you
That's
can
the
do
thing
them
is
like instantly.
That's the thing. I don't find that enjoyable because it's like at that point I didn't get better at the game. The game got better at me.
Well, I kind of also get like I have just sort of like a strategy I use in it,
I mean, like,
which is
I mean,
like there's some
But
like
there's-
meta game to it.
but that's the thing. That's the thing. You say you have a strategy. The
Yeah.
bosses aren't like the bosses don't encourage you to do interesting things. I don't think is part of the problem.
I don't actually, Elfie. I don't actually really like Star Allies.
Oh,
Interestingly
I love.
enough,
I love Star Allies. I don't think it's okay. So like, I think part of the reason is Robobot is like my favorite Kirby game, right?
me too.
And I remember Robobot being like one of the best games I've ever played. Really, it
or
does
no, not Kirby.
everything.
Oh, we were it's Kirby Clash, not Kirby Quest.
Oh, okay.
Kirby
But
Quest
yeah.
was in Kirby Mass Attack as a mini game.
But yeah, Robobot just happened to be everything I want from a game because it was Kirby with Gurren Lagann influences.
It was everything I wanted from a Kirby
and-
game, not just a game
and
in
also-
general.
Yeah. So basically, long story short, Kirby Planet Robobot was so good for me, I knew whatever came next would disappoint me. So as a result, Star Allies didn't disappoint me. I don't think it's a bad
I
game.
set my expectations too high for Kirby Star Allies. Usually I don't expect anything out of any games, and that's why I end up liking them so much. Because I didn't have any expectations for it to fail.
Hmm.
But for that one, I was still like really down for Kirby anything. I was just so excited for Kirby, and then it was just kind of bleh.
I think my issue is like this, right? Okay, is like I think
It felt,
the reason
it
that
felt too easy. It's kind of funny to say with Kirby that it felt too easy, but it really did.
Well, so here's my hot take, right? If I had to list all the potential problems of Star Allies, number one, it's built around a multiplayer system, so it's always going to be easier. Because
Mhm.
every section has to be beatable by one person. And then
Mhm.
also the platforming can't be too hard, because 4 people have to do it on the same screen at once, and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it's easy, right? Number two, I feel like it's less inspired than, like, Robobot, because, like, Robobot has the
Yeah.
benefit of it being, like, built on an
They
engine
kind
that's
of put it
already done,
out
like,
too
a
fast. I think like
Okay,
Kirby
I
games
don't-
usually take a while to come out on a system, and then they had this like
Yeah.
basically
It had to be-
the second year the system was out, so it was like
Yeah. I think they wanted to get it out the door so that they could sell a Kirby, use it to help sell the Switch. And Kirby games usually are quite content heavy and take a long time to develop.
Yeah.
On top of that, I feel like a lot of the underlying systems, like, okay, so each Kirby game is basically the same base but different toppings, right?
yeah.
And the toppings this time just weren't as good as Triple Deluxe or Robobot or like Return to Dreamland. Because the friend stuff isn't as interesting. And then on
Return
top
to
of that,
Dreamland's
like,
really good too.
yeah.
It's another
And then
like
on top-
all that one, Triple Deluxe and Planet Robobot were sort of the peak of the series in my mind. Like they were all pretty similar, and they were all just really solid.
Yeah, and they also have the benefit of the fact that they kind of build on each other. Like Triple
Yeah,
Deluxe
exactly.
is kind of
That's what I mean.
yeah. Like here's one of my issues with Star Allies mainly is the fact that like aesthetically, it's kind of just default Kirby. Like Triple Deluxe, had like a pattern theme going on, and then Robobot has like Cyberpunk. Star Allies is just Kirby. And I think part of the problem is that they were making like a new game on a new engine.
Triple
for a
Deluxe
new
had the whole
system.
plant thing.
Yeah. So basically, my issue, I think Star Allies is like it's Kirby, and that makes it good.
The
But it's,
gimmick,
like, the least-
the gimmick, like each one had its own gimmick as well. There was the big power up, like the big abilities, the super abilities, and then there was the Hypernova Kirby, and then there was the Robobot armor, which that one I think was the best of all of them.
Yeah, and then
But then Star Allies didn't, like, it had a gimmick, but it didn't really feel like one. Like, I didn't see, like, it didn't feel on like on the same level, if that makes sense.
well, the problem is it had like several gimmicks, and like they
Yeah.
were weirdly inconsistent. Like, so like you have like power combining, which was not very well implemented and was like really
Yeah.
imbalanced. And,
Wasn't
like,
as interesting as Kirby 64.
Yeah, and then you had like the friendship wheel, which was just literally the dinosaur mini game from like Google Chrome, and then you had the friendship train, which was just the dinosaur mini game from Google Chrome with Sonic wall running, and then you had the friend bridge, which was just the worst thing ever.
I can't get out of this. Uh-oh. Oh, I have to actually type it in.
But yeah, Star Allies I still like because like the extra modes really make up for everything. If you ask me, hot take. I think just the fact that like okay, so at this point, right? Okay, ignoring the first playthrough, you have what is at the end of the day kind of a decent Kirby game, and you have the ability to play it as like what, like how many fucking characters? There's like a character for each power, and then there's like a load of there's like 9 or 12 DLC characters.
I liked Hypernova a lot. What do you mean it's a dull gimmick? That was a fun one.
I think mechanically it kind of is. Maybe.
Oh, dang.
I was so stunned.
Oh shit! She's back!
Also, they did it's a new engine in Star Allies,
Yeah.
which I'm
That-
not
that's what I was-
sure why they went for that, because, like, that's another reason I think it felt kind of rushed, because, like, they had to do a whole new, and, like, it didn't run the best on the Switch, like, it was low frame rate and other issues like that.
Well, I mean, part of the problem is, like, you know, this is like, okay, hot take, right? Games are hurt by gamer expectations.
Mhm.
I feel like both Star Allies and the current gen of Pokemon are lesser games because they feel the arbitrary need to, like, meet, like, to try and strive for some kind of platonic ideal of what a Switch game's supposed to look like.
Mhm.
And I don't like it. I think it's bad. Like, they make a new engine for Star Allies, which doesn't run as well, and it wastes a lot
Yeah.
of development time. 'cause
Like,
you have
I
to
think
because
they
it's
went
on
back to
Switch.
their previous engine with Team Kirby Clash.
Yeah,
However,
that
it
makes
also is
sense.
still 30 frames per second, but
Grab your things and we'll get going.
But yeah, also like yeah. Also, you know what really annoys me? I need to mention this here.
Mhm.
You know, Sonic fucking Forces,
yeah.
the game that has like what is it? It has like 50 levels, and each one's about like a minute long. So you
Yeah.
have like about an hour, like less than an hour's worth of actual game.
That I ended up
That-
somehow spending 25 hours with completing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, because they put little trinkets
Oh my
in each
god!
level, and
Look
then
at the
made it so you had
graphic. Look at the graphics.
to- What the fuck is that? Elena, what the fuck is this?
I don't know. It's like that one game, the something balls.
I just called Balls 3D.
Yeah.
But okay, I'll
The
quickly
sun.
finish what I was saying. Long story short, Sonic Forces, a game with about 50 hours of actual gameplay, if I remember correctly. It was in development for 4 years, and apparently the majority of that was just a lighting engine.
That's how long Breath of the Wild was in development for, by the way. 4 or
To be
5.
fair, like, yeah, Breath of the Wild probably had a bigger team though. But yeah, it's like also, yeah, like Breath of the Wild probably benefited from the fact that like
Cool.
had bigger team. Like with them, they have time to do like a new lighting engine and everything else. With Forces, I'm
They
just
did like a
annoyed
whole like
because,
physics engine.
Yeah.
Or something I wanted to mention. One weird thing about Breath of the Wild is it's not 30 frames per second, it's not 60 frames per second. It was like 42 frames per second, like something really weird and unusual. Of course, sometimes
42
it drops, but yeah,
Wait, in docked or handheld?
I don't know, but I think both.
That might be another one of the reasons I hated Breath of the Wild. I just did that. I hate that fucking game.
It's just it was in some weird, unusual frame rate, not a multiple of anything.
It's just such a displeasurable game to play.
It was either 42 or 41. Oh, so you don't damage this boss, you just avoid. Oh, now you can unscrew, but I don't have time to unscrew.
Oh shit! You can open the fly and kick him in the dick.
That's a way to see it, I guess. Oh,
I mean, like, a lot of people like Breath of the Wild, Shan, and they're valid, and I understand that other people have reasons for it. It's just the specific.
It won Game of the Year of the year it came out.
My issue with Breath of the Wild is just like the open. Okay, so the game is like not. Oh, okay, so like the game is not entirely open, right? It's like 80% open, and then 20% of it is linear. And the linear parts, because they have to coexist with open parts, are completely shit. Just awful. So like when it was just like hanging around in the wilderness, shooting enemies and just goofing off, I enjoyed it. The second I had to do any actual Zelda stuff, I was like, well, you know, Zelda kind of just works better in a linear setting, to be honest.
My favorite part of the game was just riding on the horse and just looking at all the vistas going by. Just enjoying the environment.
You see, that's my favorite part as well, but then it's like, oh no, you gotta go to these little tiny mini dungeons.
Like, I didn't even really need to like do anything in the game. Like, I didn't need to fight anything or anything. I just like riding a horse in Hyrule.
No, but this is the thing, is that I want to like if there's progress to be made, I want to do it, but the progress is just fucking like is just like banging your head against a wall. Because you have to grind shrines in order to be able to beat any of the bosses, and the shrines are not interesting. And then the dungeons are not very well designed, and then the key items and like the story quests are terrible. So like the sandbox, I like just everything in the like all the like structured stuff.
I liked the part where you have to fight the what was it, the Yiga clan? You have to like infiltrate their base. That part was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you grind shrines for spirit orbs, so then you can increase your HP.
And your ability to climb, your stamina for climbing.
Yeah, I don't like that, because I don't like the fact that I can go to a boss in Breath of the Wild and be underleveled. And that upsets me. Because like in a JRPG, if you're underleveled, it's because you've refused to fight things that were in your way. If you're underleveled in Breath of the Wild, it just means you didn't go out your way to do some shitty fucking ball puzzle in some ugly fucking shrine in some fucking ditch somewhere, and it annoys me.
Breath of the Wild has like the best glitches ever, though. Like if you watch those videos about glitches in Breath of the Wild, they're like the most amazing things.
True. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, it's already a game that's designed for open possibilities, so the glitches themselves get to be more interesting as a result.
And the setups are just like absolute nonsense, and I love it. Just like. Also, this boss is not very fun. I'm getting tired of this.
This does seem kind of like an unenjoyable boss. TBH. Like, what you do to open the screws is a bit of, like, what do you do to open the fucking screws?
You have to do like you're picking them up.
Oh no!
And it takes a while, so.
Oh, this is uncomfortable.
Poop.
Like, I think, okay, hot take. I think I would have liked Breath of the Wild more if it was more like Zelda 1. Like, instead of giving us shrines and those bad dungeons, just give us, like, underground areas with enemies and keys and things you get.
I'm really curious what they're going to do with the sequel. Because they really have not said anything.
I'm hoping it's more like
the reason,
I doubt it.
So other than the reason that they're doing it is because apparently they had too many ideas for DLC for the first game and decided to just make it into another game.
It's the Mario Galaxy 2 effect. But yeah, I'm like hoping that they can do some
and the
stuff
other
that-
thing, the only other thing they said was that this is going to be the darkest Zelda game. Like it's going to be, they said, darker than Majora's Mask or Twilight Princess.
No, it fucking isn't. It just isn't. I'm
Well,
sorry.
I mean, that's what they
hold-
said. I'm telling you what
okay,
the director said.
I'm just saying the director's talk guy's fucking ass. Because like the reason Majora's Mask is dark is not because there's a creepy thing. It's dark because it's like it's a very controlled game that's very linear, and every single NPC is really well thought out and stuff.
Yeah, like
and
I
like
always
they
say-
actively
I always-
create. Go on.
I was gonna say, I always found parts of Ocarina of Time creepier than anything in Majora's Mask. Well, actually, there was one part in Majora's Mask which I found creepy, which was just the ghost guy on the mushroom. If you remember that guy.
Hmm.
And the mask that you get that's just like his head like sewn onto it. That freaked me out a little bit.
But basically, my issue is I think that Majora's Mask is creepy for reasons that you can't do in an open world game. When they say creepy, what they mean is there's going to be a skull that goes.
Well, they said
oogle,
dark,
oogle.
not creepy.
Well, dark. It's gonna be dark because somebody's gonna die or something. It won't be actually like interestingly dark like Majora's Mask was. It's gonna be superficially dark because I doubt like they could do something interesting that I'm not seeing.
It's
but
like
I doubt
that thing. It's like that thing they found in the reveal like teaser trailer for Breath of the Wild 2, where if you put the music backwards, it goes Zelda, Link, you saw the body. Or it's like, oh Zelda, oh Link, you saw the body.
What?
Yeah, if you play the music
Talking
backwards, the vocals say that.
In what?
In the teaser trailer they did for Breath of the Wild 2.
Is this confirmed or is this just like?
No, I
some,
listened
like,
to it.
thing?
I like reversed the audio myself.
That
to make
sounds
sure that-
honestly kind of funny because literally in the trailer they see a body.
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
like-
So they're just singing about what happens in the trailer, basically.
That's awful.
I was
Yeah.
laughing about it. When I heard it, it was like, oh, yeah, that's what happens in the trailer, I guess.
But yeah, basically, I don't know. Like I said, some people have given me some suggestions for what they might do in Breath of the Wild 2, and some of these sound like it might fix it for me. But like, I'm not holding my breath.
Remember
'Cause,
when
like,
remember when there was
nobody
that supposed leak where they said it was going to be called Breath of the Darkness, and it was going to be out on the Switch 2?
That's,
They didn't
yeah, that's-
say like a Switch Pro. They said they're going to go straight to like their next console.
Oh yeah, I remember you told me about this at the time.
Yeah.
I worry that like Breath of the Wild probably didn't get enough criticism at the
Ouch.
time because
Oh,
everybody was
poop.
just like everybody gets like really
Like Death
just-
Stranding.
Yeah, like there are certain games that are such big blockbusters that people just like they kind of just they kind of just
like the famous review for Death Stranding that says it's boring, 9.5 out of 10.
Okay, to be fair, a boring game can still be good.
Yeah, but still, it was like.
I mean, unlike Breath of the Wild, which is not good. But like a game can be boring in an interesting, engaging way if it's done like measuredly. Like I've heard some people say that the original version of No Man's Sky has a value, which that like the new version doesn't have.
There's some people, or this was on Vinesauce stream. Apparently, there's people who still refuse to play or like acknowledge the game, even though they've like put a lot of work into like fixing and like just sort of like finishing the game as it was meant to be, because, and I quote, somebody in his chat said, "It doesn't fix the lies. The updates don't fix the lies." And I was like, what?
I mean, at that point, you're admitting that you don't really care about the quality of the game. It's just
Yeah.
you're proving a point.
Basically. I don't even
But
know
yeah,
what the
like-
lies were.
But like, it's interesting because because basically, right? Okay.
Mhm.
Like I heard, basically,
Like I
some people said,
think the fact that the developer like kept working on it and everything and has like been dedicated to the game shows that he like, loved the project and like loves the game, and like is sort of proving that he like actually wanted to make something good. So like anyway, you continue.
"Oh wow, can I continue now?"
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you. Anyway, I was saying, I've heard some people say that basically, the original No Man's Sky is kind of like, when you really get down to it, in a way, more of a realistic space exploration sim, because space isn't just constant Star Wars all the time. like being on your own on a load of all just rocks.
Yeah.
Just kind of making your way from one side to the other, not always being amazed by everything, is kind of its own valuable experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing I noticed with No Man's Sky is that, is that any of the planets that were like specifically designed and not randomly generated are the most interesting ones.
Well, I mean, that's just because random generation doesn't create interesting things 9 times out of 10.
Basically, there's specific like environments or planets that are just sort of designed by the developers, and those are the coolest ones, most interesting ones.
I mean, even when you have human beings coming up with stuff, you tend to like pick the best ones rather than choosing everything.
Yeah.
Like Wint probably goes through so many drafts to make his tweets, and like there's a book of drill tweets that isn't a book of any like AI tweets, because you wouldn't make one, because most of the book would be a waste of time.
I was gonna say, oh yeah, Astroneer is really good for just the sort of empty rock planet exploration. I'm pretty sure there's like no animals on any of the planets. The most is just some plant life, and it's just sort of a chill game. It's like it's kind of like Minecraft, but like on alien planets, but without like creatures on them. If that makes sense. And like anything that has to be plugged in, you have to like carry the cord to go plug it in. It's kind of one of its gimmicks. Are you still there, Biss? Did I disconnect?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Oh, there you
Sorry,
are.
just somebody was annoying me IRL. As
Oh, that's
happens
okay.
constantly. Oh yeah, Mistcraft. That's a really good mod. I've seen a lot of Let's Plays use that, and I think I played in I played in a server that had Mistcraft like once with Arrow. Arrow's big on Mist.
I'd like to get and play Astroneer with some people sometime. It looks like a good chill thing to play.
Mm.
And you dig with just like a vacuum cleaner thing. You just
That's
suck
pretty
up the
fun.
ground.
Yeah, you just suck.
They had some issues with the netcode, I remember, which I think they've I'm not sure if they fixed it. I guess we'd find out if we tried playing it.
Oh wait, Shan, I can't remember. Did you see my Mist streams? They were a while back.
I saw
can't
your Mist
remember who
streams. They
was
were very
there.
good.
Yeah, I think Shan was there for at least some of them. Yeah, Mist was like fun. Even if I think that some of the puzzles are a bit unreasonable, but for the most part, it's a good game. I feel like some of the parts which frustrated me probably just mostly did because I was on stream, so you have like a time issue.
It's the kind of game that would make me feel sick trying to play it. So I'm glad I just watched you play it rather than ever try and play it myself.
That's fair.
And then it just amuses me that there's a 3DS version of that game. And imagine trying to like find the little details that you need to see in that game on a 3DS screen.
Yeah. To be fair, there was only one ant. That was like the one, or was it a termite I said or something like that? There was like
I think you said
one-
termite.
Yeah, there was only one termite.
But
And
yeah.
other than that, it's like fine.
But I mean, on a 3DS screen, I think you would have more of them, basically.
I wonder if the 3DS version was like with new.
It got
renders that
terrible.
were 3D.
It got terrible reviews though, so I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah, it did not review well at all.
Oh shit! I wonder if they were just. I wonder if like.
How am I supposed to do this? I can't go nearly fast enough.
Oh, I'm sorry, Shan. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh my god! Oh my god, I don't like this game right now. I'm trying to go fast, but all I do
Sorry
is
about-
make mistakes.
Sorry if I reminded you of that, Shan. Hugs if needed.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, I agree with Elfie. Elena, you are just refusing to like let go of the left button.
Because if I do, I lose too much time.
Elena, you're better off like starting off calm and then slowly getting more speedy each round, rather than starting off at most speedy.
Well, I
and
mean, I
refusing
did
to slow
that,
down.
and then there was like the thing caught up to me, and there was no way to.
Yeah, and now you're going to, and now you're being too. Like, okay, Elena. Most of your mistakes at the minute come from being too frantic. That's just like a statement of fact. Like you're better off just trying to calm.
I have to hit the button a specific amount of time. Like the jump button has to be pressed a specific duration of time to make that jump as fast as possible. You really have to book it. Oh my god.
This game's a pretty good platformer, all things considered. Like before we did this playthrough, I appreciated it mostly as a story experience, but the platform is pretty good actually when you get into it.
I don't like this platforming.
I mean,
This is
like,
just
why don't you like it though?
because the thing you have to go too fast. I don't like it. Just
But it's like a balancing act, you know. It's a chat. That's the challenge, is balancing.
yeah, but I don't
your
like this
approach.
challenge.
Okay, that's fair. I think I would respect this screen. It'd frustrate me, but I'd enjoy beating it. I think it is worth remembering that the fact that you're playing this on stream makes this more frustrating. Because, like I said, we've missed. Playing something on stream means that the
my
more time you
God,
spend on
no!
it, kind of frustrates.
See, that's why I don't like it.
You got so close. I'm proud of you. Oh no, it's alright, Shan. Don't worry about it.
No, jump! I pressed the jump button and he didn't jump off. That's the thing
Like,
that
it's
happens
okay-
in this game a lot, is you press the jump button and he doesn't jump.
Like, it's okay to bring up things that are sad, Shan. That's chill. Don't worry about it. I just realized when you get hit by a blade, your sparks are silhouetted as well, which makes no sense. Why would sparks have a shadow?
Beautiful. Don't get... It's
Wow,
because
so
they're all
your
just
game
part
is-
of a sprite.
Yeah. I love how this is just all black silhouette, so my brain's just like, is this a platformer from the late 2010s?
Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, that was that was like when the AAA game started doing it as well. Elfie Faye says don't climb too high.
I had to get around the thing. Why am I failing at this now?
Because you're stressed. And you're winding yourself up about it.
That was a terrible jumping up those platforms. So you have to get all the way... And then he won't get off that one! What?
Maybe it's because you're too high up so you can't jump off it or something?
Yeah, but I have to go up there to avoid...
No, because the blades turn around, and I think the blade... You have time to, go between the blades.
A lot of these mistakes I make here at the beginning is because I press the button and he doesn't jump. Which is not helpful. I think I press it not... I think there's an amount you can press it, and then it doesn't jump, you have to press it for longer. Or something like that, and it's real easy to not press it long enough.
This is why games all need to be frame dependent. Frame dependency is good, actually. At least I'm assuming that's the case. I'm assuming that what you mean is, the check for, whether the button's been pressed
There we
is,
go. No, get in.
Oh yeah, get in. Fuck yeah.
I got more of it.
But yeah, this is... But yeah. Frame dependency is good.
No, I mean that like the amount of time you press the button for is how high you jump, right? But
Oh, that's what you mean.
But there's a certain amount of time you have to press it for to jump at all, and it's easy to not press it long enough.
Wait, wait,
to
are
jump
you
at all.
saying? So wait, I thought you meant if you didn't press the button long enough, it didn't register the jump. Do you mean you jump and
That's what I
then
mean.
like start falling within one frame and don't move?
No, I mean if you don't press it long enough, it doesn't start the jump at all.
Okay, that's what I meant then. That's what I meant is that like the game is checking whether the button is pressed at a certain time, which is infrequent. Like instead of like going, has the button been pressed this frame? It says, is the button pressed now? Every so often. Which means it's imprecise, and you can press it and let go fast enough that it doesn't see it happen. These nuclear bounce things are very weird. I wonder if we're getting near the end of
Nuclear
this game,
bounce.
because like,
Because it's getting hard.
yeah, it is getting really hard, isn't it? Also, there's a lot of like very hellish imagery, and that feels kind of
Is this the
endgamey.
final boss? Is that what you're wondering?
Not final boss, but like, you know, we might be getting there.
Hold on a second, I need to plug in my phone so it doesn't die and I can keep reading the chat. This cord doesn't work. Do I have a cord that works nearby? I want to keep reading your beautiful chat messages. Okay, that's the
Beautiful
one for the
chat.
place. That's the one for the PS4 controller, and it works.
I'm suddenly now wondering if anybody's be able to hear the sound of me chewing the top of this Pepsi bottle.
Maybe.
If so, it'd greatly upset me.
Uh-oh. I think I've been hearing a noise that could be
Oh my god!
sound of chewing.
This is cool. You're using the angle of the parts of the robot to make the nuclear things fly at an angle.
I am?
Yeah,
Oh.
you know, because the robot's like a curve, so the part of the curve that the nuclear button is on when you hit it
Poop.
decides what angle it flies up at.
Oh, he's got an exposed brain.
That's disgusting. But yeah, I
But
like this.
well, it's a robot brain, so it's okay.
Kind of reminds. It's kind of interesting because I like slope
pooping.
angle jump stuff on player characters, but I've never seen a system where you've got to keep in mind the slope that an enemy is on when you hit them.
Emily.
It's not really a brain; it's piloted. Elfie Face says.
It's not piloted.
Or I don't know.
It's
I'm
just a
gonna be honest.
robot.
Elfie Face says it is, and I'm gonna be honest. I feel like stream chat
Who's-
is usually better at following the
who's-
story of a game. Than
Who's
the streamers.
piloting it? Nobody got in there. It's just the... See? This
It
is
showed
robot
the
brain.
doctor guy in the eye from the first cutscene. Elfie Face says.
Oh. So I'm a poopy head?
Like I said, stream chat is better at paying attention to the story than a streamer is. It's a rule of thumb.
So I'm a poopy head.
You are not a poopy head.
Yeah, I am.
You're not
I've got a head
poopy
full of poop.
How many times do I have to tell you? You're not a poopy head.
Cassie's been pooping in there.
Not. That's fucking disgusting, Elena. Elena, the shit you come out with sometimes.
It's only because I spend so much time around Cassie.
Oh, yeah, blame it on the baby.
Of course.
Of course!
Yeah, who else would it be?
Okay, I thought you meant, of course, you should blame it on the baby.
Yeah.
At that point, I was gonna be like, well, don't blame things on baby mean. Don't be doing that. That's mean. Shit on me, you stinky butthole. Oh, God, I'm...
But it hit the thing, but it didn't damage him. What?
I feel like cold at the minute. Maybe it's because there hasn't been a fire in all night.
Oh.
Not my fault. The person who tried to build the fire up did a really bad job and made it inoperable. Because it's full of fuel, so there's no fucking airflow possible.
Oh, I see. It doesn't have to hit the blue thing. You just have to not hit the blue thing. You just have to make him hit himself in the head.
Yeah.
Or I wasn't assuming the blue thing was involved. But it's just for show.
Oh god, that's a quote. Here I was assuming the blue thing was involved.
Whoops. Oops. Oops. I'm getting a little tired of this music at this point, too.
Now I'm just thinking of, do you remember, now I'm imagining somebody going over to somebody's house to play Sega and Sonic's All-Stars Transformed Racing, right?
And
And
Horace
this
is there.
person's like, no. And this person is like, oh, do I have to play a Sonic racing game? And the person's like, no. It's actually a Sega racing game. They just put Sonic's name on the title. You can play as Danica Patrick. And they're like, oh, good, it doesn't involve the spiky blue thing.
Here I was thinking the blue thing was involved.
Fuck, that's the correct quote. God damn it, I messed it up. I'm full of energy.
I'm failing
and
at this
low on
now
brains
for some
tonight.
reason.
Probably because you're stressed.
I'm not stressed.
Probably because you're...
Possessed. Why can't I can no longer hit the thing?
Because I think you're just at that point where like you've been doing
And I keep
this so
hitting
long
the
that you're
blue.
not putting
I
your
keep
all
I
into
keep
it
hitting
anymore.
said blue thing. I mean, I am. I'm trying.
Like I feel after a certain amount of time, like you stop focusing as much because you're like
I'm focusing.
like I don't understand. I don't think you get what I mean. Like
Ah.
whatever. I meant a very specific thing that happens sometimes with games, where like basically it's like there's something which you're so used to that you find it harder to like predict it properly because like Elena, why are you doing a Link impression?
Because I keep getting spumbused. If only I had those little heads following me around. They would be
Why does
very
this
useful
robot
right
have
now.
a skeleton?
I mean, Horace has a skeleton.
Why does Horace have a skeleton?
I know, I asked that before and you didn't seem to have an answer for me.
Why don't I have an answer for you?
You tell me.
I don't know. I couldn't answer one question. Why would I be able to answer this one? Yeah, I have
Yes,
a
I know
feeling-
mind the angle. I've been minding the angle. But sometimes
I
the
have a-
angle is not what I think it is.
I have a feeling that beating this boss is probably where we're going to call it quits tonight.
That's where I'm gonna call it quits. Probably call it quits before I beat this boss at this rate.
Oh no. Because this boss really is just a fucking pain in the butthole.
I don't know, maybe I just stink at video games.
You
And it's
do
actually
not stink
easy.
at video games. This boss
feel
is
like I do
definitively a
sometimes.
butthole.
Often I feel like I just stink at them.
Yeah, it's quite impressive, Shan.
You're impressed how people can talk and play at the same time? This
Hey,
has been
Elena,
pretty
have you
easy
ever
for
done-
me. Because I usually play games while multitasking anyway, so
That makes sense.
I don't usually just play games.
The way I like to describe streaming is: have you ever been able to do a trick in like a Tony Hawk game or something reliably, and then you're like, "Hey, watch this," and then immediately when you try and show somebody, you fail it like 5 times in a row.
That's a stream Vinny did recently when he did his most recent Dragon Quest XI stream. Was just he talked about there was this enemy that he fought and how he beat it in 4 turns, and then or he was just talking about that, and then he was like, and then he got a quest where he has to fight that monster again,
Yeah.
and the entire stream was just him trying to fight that monster again. But when he managed to beat it, he beat it in 3 turns, so he did it like better than he did off stream
Oh,
by
nice.
the end of it. Yeah.
That's a thing of beauty right there.
He was calling himself 4 turns Vinny.
4 turns, Vinny.
That's what they like. Usually on his streams it says Vine Sauce Vinny, and this one it said Vine Sauce 4 turns Vinny.
You should
I
try
need
at
to do.
some point,
I need
Shan.
to do
You're
something
cool.
where I need to do something where I get a nickname like that.
I can give you a nickname. I can't promise you you'll like it, but I can give you a nickname. Like there, Fart Noise Elena.
Oh no. Oh poop. He was acting like Four Turns Vinny was like a name of like a gang member of like the mob or something. Because he was doing like that like Italian, like New York Italian accent with it, like which I can't do, but I like how eventually it like just gives me each like damage to the boss. It takes a while, but and I have to like do it myself at least a couple times, I think. And then it's like we'll just give you a checkpoint there now.
Wait, you've got a checkpoint?
Yeah, see how the brain is already exposed? No.
Oh, nice. We're gonna get through this one way or another. Hell yeah.
Wow, that's it. I only needed one more hit. All this time. Wow, that's her fingers weren't even all on the keys.
She's just feeling the metal. She's just feeling the metal.
Oh yeah, he was in there. What is he doing? Is it like really windy? How did I escape with difficulty, and how did they plan this moment with pleasure? Count of Monte Cristo? Getting the family back together.
I love how the robot has the same eyes as like the smaller robots. Like they're big pixel eyes.
Yeah. Area 52. Haha.
How do we get past him then?
It's awful. I fucking hate this.
The old lady smiled. I'll create a distraction and you.
Oh my god, I saw a really good tweet today. It was like a map of Area 51, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it was the same map used as the texture for a cube, and it was like Volume 51. It was so good.
This guy loves doing that.
They sprited him doing that once, and now they need to get their money's worth out of the sprites.
One of the few animations they have for cutscenes. Oh, that little guy's he's still bouncing.
It all changed after Dad died, she said, explaining that because the professor didn't want anything to do with me. The old man's financial investors split the company into 12 divisions and began manufacturing all sorts of robots. So the old man, he was actually my creator, my maker. I suppose a more poetic man might have called him my father. Soon, the robots were sold to every country, Heather continued.
Oh, this is a nice emotional scene.
Saying that when a small skirmish in the Middle East turned into a global war, every country started using robotic troops. In literally less than a day, every country's robots realized that the other robots were not the problem, the humans were, and, very logically deserted, with disastrous consequences.
Look at all the Horaces.
I believe the correct term is Horai. Aww! Robots are inherently good!
Hori, that's the company that makes... Oh, this is the reference to the thing we were talking about earlier, Biss.
Oh, it literally is a reference!
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is a reference to that thing, in World War I, where on Christmas Day, troops on either side of no man's land just decide to play football instead. This is fantastic. This is great. Okay, no, maybe... Oh, no. Oh, so that's where the reaction image of Horace holding a gun comes from.
Oh.
Remember, I used to send that to you, just Horace holding a gun.
No one ever wanted to talk about the war when I was around. All of a sudden, Alice shouted for everyone to hold on. We were being followed.
What? Oh, it's the Sonic movie.
No. You could have said watermelons with strap-on cannons.
But I didn't.
But that would have been the more wholesome joke. Wait, who the fuck fell out? Oh
the
no!
Little kid. That was not a good sound.
I'd never really considered the idea of God.
Sorry for the USB sound effect. That's my phone being silly.
That's right.
We'd fallen pretty far
Oh.
out of the van, and I wasn't sure I'd really braced her for it.
Horace is still naked.
Yep. Didn't get dressed again after that last event.
Heather greeted me with a calm smile. I thought you'd find me easier
Stop
than
it.
I'd find you, so I thought I'd stay put. I made a small shelter as quick as I could. It was soon pitch
Stop!
black and starting to rain, so Heather had suggested we rest.
Stop what?
In the morning,
The
when
USB
was
noise.
light,
Oh,
we could
no.
Try to find our way home. I don't think Dad ever imagined this would
No, it's my USB port
said
that's not
Heather with a
okay.
sad look in her eye. I mean,
Oh no,
he
I'm
would
sorry.
always talk about how he'd dreamt of a robot when he
What's
was a
plugged
young
into the
boy.
USB port?
He
My
was
phone,
so happy
'cause I have to
when
charge it.
finally turned out.
Oh.
I honestly think he thought robots like you could help the world, not kill millions of people. Death is really sad, I said. It was an obvious thing to say, but Heather nodded. When
Horace
my
being
best
Captain
friend
Obvious.
died, she continued.
I
asked me
really
why
want
people
somebody
had
just to
to
have a
die.
framed photo of Horace
She
saying,
said it
"Death
was
is
too
sad."
different from new babies to be born. I don't know why, but this made me feel both happy and sad at the same time.
Gnorts, Mr. Alien.
Mr. Preston practically fell through a bush as he said, "There you are. We've been looking for you all night." He explained that they had lost the soldiers, but the van had broken down. Luckily, though,
Stop it.
it was actually only a short walk away. I must have looked sad when we got back, as the old lady sat
The
down
guy in
beside me.
chains.
"What's
That's.
the matter?" she
I don't know. That weirds
I
me
told
out.
her that Heather had explained the war to me. The old lady sighed. "It's not your fault," before saying how the original idea was for the robots to be raised like children, learning and developing their own consciousness. But when the old man died and I was shut down, my consciousness was taken, hacked, and copied to every other robot to bypass the growing up stage.
All the
Heather
robots
explained
are
that
Horace.
every robot had a tiny bit of my
What?
memories of the old man,
No!
of everything. So when the war broke out,
Wait,
hundreds of
what?
unstable robots
I love how
kept
she's like,
arriving
"It's
at the
not your
house.
fault.
I think it
Also,
was like
every
some
robot
kind
was
of
you.
damage for them,"
You
said the
killed
old lady.
millions.
"That's
You,
why we created
directly."
a scrambling signal. It only works within a few hundred miles, but turns
Well, they
out
have his
that ours is
personality.
illegal robots close enough to
Exactly.
mindless zombies.
She's literally like,
That's
a load of
another
people with
reason
your
he was a
personality
threat
are
to see.
murderers.
Heather explained how most of the planet had been taken over by robots. She said they were looking for more people, but it wasn't
What
looking
not
good.
belong
They
to
had
us?
received a radio signal from Japan. There was a few thousand people who survived there. Lord knows how, said the old lady. Their robots outnumbered people 50-1 by the time the war broke out. Heather said how she had been writing a virus that would shut any robot down. "I'm not really a great coder," she said.
50-1?
"Mama tried to work out a way to boost the scrambling signal, but now you're here I've got an idea." The old lady smiled and slowly nodded. "We should be able to clone your personality and broadcast
So wait,
your
most of the world
consciousness
is
to all
controlled by
the
Oh,
robots.
they don't
other
have his
than
personality. They
Harvey.
had just...
Heather smiled.
I don't know what exactly they had.
"Oh, nice."
They had his knowledge.
Robot, interrupted Mr.
Maybe?
Silton.
Yeah.
"We're nearly done, but we're all starving. See if you can catch us one of them rabbits."
I don't want to catch a rabbit.
So wait, hold on.
No,
Wait,
I don't want to do that.
So wait, all the stuff we've seen so far, like Sitcom and
When
all
I
those
got
cities,
back,
right?
I
Uh-huh.
told everyone
Are they
that I
like
couldn't
the
catch
0.1% of the
I
world
don't
which
think
is not
anyone
robot
was
controlled
too
or something?
disappointed.
Apparently.
Also, why haven't they given him his clothes back?
Don't know. Families... Okay, I didn't catch the rabbit. Didn't want to catch the rabbit. Seems like a bad idea. No, a bad idea.
Done. Also, I'd like to be done within like maybe like
Yeah, I'm just trying to find a stopping point.
22 minutes. Within 22 minutes.
Okay. I probably should get going as soon as I can, though. At least from
Oh.
streaming.
Yeah.
The guy's with the chain. Oh, finally they put clothes back on Horace.
Thank God.
He's not a naked boy. The
I think
gang's
my
all here
favorite
again.
thing. I think I like how Horace is like such a. It's an interesting robot design. You don't usually see robots that are sort of like dumpy and stuff. Like, like just sort of short and wide, and got big, thick arms and legs.
Looks like a Lego person.
Oh yeah, Shan, that makes sense. It's like 5 in the morning for you.
This happy music.
That's a good question as well, Shan. Because if they're outnumbering people 50-1, that's like
Nope, we're dreaming again. What is going on now?
400 billion question mark? Let me do them. Let me get a calculator.
No, only in Japan they were. Was it like that?
Oh, what's the population of Japan?
Heck if I know.
Population of Japan.
And we don't know what time this game takes place in.
That's fair. I mean, it seems like our area. They have 4 transit vans. But yeah, at this point, it's like that is quite a lot of robots.
This is a weird looking thing.
It really is. You've got the totems, which represent death and destruction and war.
And the happy
They kind
cloud.
of look like something from. Have you ever played Devil Daggers?
No. Never
Oh,
even
you
heard
should
of
try
it.
Devil Daggers
He
sometime.
was quite the computer expert. He talked the others through the process of setting up a video phone.
Super Vidiphone?
He said it should serve our purpose. That the old debate might make everyone's
Oh, that's great.
faces
They are
look a
quite
bit
good
blocky.
pillars.
Might make everyone's faces look a bit blocky. As if they're not already.
The device soon crackled.
Please
into
let everybody
light.
just be photorealistic. Come on.
This is
No, they
Dr.
just look the same as usual.
Japan. Are you receiving me?
Is that
Over.
fucking
Hello,
Iwata?
said the old lady. This is Night.
I don't know.
It's good to speak to you again.
For a second, then I just nah. I don't think it is. For a second, I was wondering if they'd like base the face off of anybody. Like, part of me wouldn't be surprised because
I like how they don't draw any people straight on, like their bodies. They're all at the 3/4 the 3/4 angle, even if the
Yeah.
face is facing forward. Even Horace is always like that.
And the blind man set up a computer with what they called the internet.
The internet. I mean, this okay. Well, in the time period with dial-up internet.
I mean, that makes sense. All the video games we've seen so far are like old.
The
Or
planet
based off
might
of
have
old
been
ones.
ravaged by war, but this allowed people to communicate with each other. The old lady was
Like my
concerned
youth,
about
Shan
viruses
says.
and other technical
I remember dial-up
things,
for like a little bit of
explaining
time when I was little. We didn't have it for very long.
But Mr. Silton
Dial-up
thought
noises
that
were
over there,
incredible.
As he convinced everyone it was a great idea. It was
I remember looking at like a diagram that sort of explained what all of the noises were.
Video games and awesome cartoons.
Were those noises were those noises like the boot up noises of certain old consoles where like a skilled person can listen to the problem to debug them or something?
Well, because basically you're just listening to the code or to the that's being sent
But when Mr. Silton looked at it,
and listen and sent and received.
was full of naked ladies.
What? What?
Oh no.
Later that evening, Mr. Silton wheeled an old piano into the room.
Mr. Silton. Da 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 da.
Shan
our
just says dot
Silton.
dot dot.
As a thank you, she had written a piece of music for her parents, which one day she tried to play for them.
Like all of the war stuff must have happened pretty quickly because the little girl hasn't grown up very much. Like it all had to have just happened like immediately and not have lasted very long.
Ash, okay.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Ash.
Like, are you gonna give us measurements or?
For some reason, she then gave me a huge hug and suggested I might like to play the piano with
How
her.
long is this cutscene? Oh, okay.
This
Now
is-
we're in this again.
Part of me's just like, yeah, this is a fucking Hideo Kojima game. Cutscene's gone so long.
It's ironic then that
Dreamy
Death's.
Lifetime?
It's ironic then that Death Stranding and this game are being published by the same company.
Wait, what?
Yeah, 505 Games.
Wait, you fucking me right now?
No, we've discussed this before.
Oh, wow, that really is something.
Horus and
that
Death
Horus
Stranding
is-
have the same publisher.
To think that Horus is on the same fucking publisher as that piece of shit.
As happy as the old lady was
It's
with us
upsetting.
playing the piano, we soon got back to business.
Oh no.
Scanning the house, she explained that, other than the escaped nanobots, there were 4 test robots that I would have to track down. They
'Cause brothers?
demonstrated important satellite parts that we would need to broadcast the nice virus. And
The nice virus. Great to make all the robots nice like Horus.
If you're going to explore their house,
I'm gonna be
so
honest,
Mr.
right? I
Simpson,
think it's worth
Mhm.
remembering that a nice
Samuel
virus
Morse
is
called
just
up. Here,
another
take
way
my
of saying
crowbar.
mind control.
Oi, that's mine, laughed Mr. Preston. You said
You
we could
dreamt
take
your
it.
cat
You really are a
pooped
proper
sausages.
Mr. Preston explained that they had used
Wait.
it in what he called their own
What was bleeped
business.
out?
I soon realized this meant all sorts of robbery, but he
I
said
didn't-
that they'd given
I was looking at the
What was-
chat and then I hear a beep, and I'm like, what? Did somebody say Jean Paul again?
Although Mr. Preston's story was very interesting, Simon the blind man had something even more interesting for me, something they called an auto map.
You get a map finally? Alright, I guess we're gonna call it good for now.
Thank you, Ash.
Alright, we're gonna call it for. Oh yeah, you get a map on this screen now. Shows me where to go to find the things I'm going for.
Horus is a Metroidvania.
It just takes
I
a
fucking-
long time to get into being one.
Oh, this is your first time seeing the Catboy robot?
Oh, the
Yeah,
one
it's
that
a
bounces?
Catboy robot.
Oh yeah, let's look at
Yeah.
him. See, he always bounce.
And there's the other one who has just the biggest fucking eyes.
what
And a bow tie.
is Mr. Sultan doing with the board for chess?
He's airing it out.
What the heck is going on?
Or is he like trying to convince people to play like, I got chessboard, does everyone want to play?
But the chess pieces are on the table set up. Did he
Well,
do like a
obviously
magic trick where he pulled it out without moving the chess pieces? Is that what's going on here?
Oh, fuck. He's trying to stop the chessboard from levitating away. Oh, this is great.
Alright, that's Horus for today, everyone.
Oh, fuck. Oh, apparently his wife
Oh
was
my God.
laughing, so maybe this is what constitutes a joke in their fucking
Hey, so we
household.
managed to get through a whole stream without it disconnecting once. How about that?
Hell yeah. Okay, everybody, I'm so fucking... Okay, I'm gonna have to, like, rush off pretty quick for reasons, but thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you for letting me on, Elena.
Of course.
Thank you, because you continue to fucking deliver experiences.
Oh, you
love
cut out
you
for
all.
that. Did you
Good
say
night.
thank you to Horus?
I said thank you to the Horus dev for
Yeah.
continuing to deliver just straight up experiences.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna get going. See you later. Goodbye. And remember,
Goodbye, Biss.
always Horus.
Don't tell Biss, but on Thursday my stream is going to be Nier and the demo for the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon remake. They don't want me to play the latter of those. And then Tuesday Tuesday is Black Mesa and the Hobbit. So, yeah. I mean, you can't get upset at me for playing the demo. I mean, it's free. I'm not even giving them my money. what's wrong with playing a demo, huh? I want to check it out. I don't even know if I'm gonna like it. But yeah, anyway, that's stream schedule. And whenever Biss wants to play more stuff, play Neopets on stream. Again, well, you saw the extreme struggle I had trying to play a video on stream. It's going to be that, but worse, trying to stream anything that's in the browser. So, yeah. Thanks, everyone. Good night. And I will see you on Tuesday at the latest. So, see you then.